Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Podcastville, presented by Farah Farah. I'm your host for today's episode, Mario Anthony Orico, hitting them with the middle names today, you guys.
More formal.
Why don't you introduce yourselves, my co-hosts here, starting with this handsome lad to my right.
Yeah. So
Khalil Farah.
Yes,
We're going to do middle names.
Heck yeah. Nicholas?
Nicholas James Boyle. Or Nick James.
Nick James.
Yeah,
Nicky James.
yeah.
I like that. Nicky James.
Yeah,
that's your new nickname.
All right.
I'm going to change it in my phone after this.
That's cool.
Probably
So
not.
defamation.
Excited about
Yes,
today's
there's
episode, you guys.
Amber
A
Heard
lot of
actually-
Jax
for sure.
talk.
Yeah,
A
someone-
lot of Jax talk. A lot of city talk. Make me want to move downtown, maybe. Probably not. But there's a lot happening downtown, all right?
Yeah.
Why do I know this? Well, because I drive to work every day from my beach house, and I take a specific route. I always exit going towards the stadium, the Jack Stadium, so that I could drive around the stadium, and then I pass by the Maxwell House coffee factory.
Always smells
yeah.
like coffee.
What do you guys think about Maxwell House?
I like it.
I drink it every day, actually.
Really?
Do you?
Yeah,
The scoop into the coffee machine?
every single day. Old school coffee guy. Black. Gets hair in your chest, because I'm a man.
Wow.
I'm a man's man,
I'm an
you know?
espresso guy.
You
Really?
would.
Yeah.
I like
the
Nespresso.
frothiness.
Yeah.
You did buy me an espresso for my
I
birthday.
did. You don't use it. Now
I do on the
can tell.
weekends. I treat myself.
I actually just drink coffee at the office. I don't make it at home usually.
Really? Not
Yeah.
even in the morning?
No.
So I
don't
prepare
drink
it
coffee
at
till I
night.
get home.
I get up early so I can have a couple mugs in the morning.
Right, with the
very,
roosters and the old people.
very weak. And then I get to work and I have
I can't
coffee.
start without coffee.
Really?
Yeah, me neither.
Which is a problem. Maybe I can change that.
You don't have to change. You shouldn't change for anyone.
It's nice of you to say.
Yeah. Anyway, so I drive by the coffee factory, and then I get the beautiful prison or jail on the right hand side. Which who's the city planner?
Prime real estate.
Who's
Yeah,
putting a jail
on the
down?
river.
Yeah. And then I get to work, and as I'm driving by, there is this amazing amount of uncultivated land. Well, it's cultivated, but you know what I'm saying. There's nothing on it.
There's potential.
It's just so much potential.
Yeah.
As a New Yorker, we drove to Disney every spring break. Okay, we drove
Drove down from
Buffalo. We
Wow.
drove to Orlando,
it's like
and we'd
22-hour drive.
it's like an 18-hour drive.
Yeah.
We'd go on 95 south, and we'd have to go through Jacksonville. And I remember being a kid thinking, "Wow, this is such a huge city. This is beautiful. I thought it was like a New York City on the water. It's not, but it has a lot of potential. Just so much vacancy. Okay.
Isn't New York City on the water?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Cole? Nobody asked you, so how dare you?
But I just completely missed that.
Yeah.
You guys were just
Yeah.
Look at the river through
Manhattan,
it.
Manhattan
Yeah.
is an island. You're right.
Yeah.
So as I moved into Jax and became implemented into the Jax way of living, you hear people saying like, "Oh, it's on the up and up." Right? I'm sure you've been one of those people that say
Oh,
that.
I'm a big Jax, especially downtown Jax guy.
Big up and up guy.
Yeah.
That but so I looked into this. There's a lot coming to
There's a
Jacksonville,
lot.
you guys.
A big build.
There is a lot. From one side, Riverside, to Jack's Riverview Plaza, the Jacksonville Jaguars owner Shad Khan and Four Seasons Hotel have invested more than $3 billion that is in the pipeline for that urban core. And they're starting the development for, there's going to be apartment buildings, there's going to be a hotel, there's going to be a giant, maybe they're going to change this, like a statuesque thing.
It says Jax.
It says Jax. It looks like it says
Something else.
Lux or Lax or something else.
Yeah, they'll change it to block letters instead of cursive.
Yeah. Plus, who uses cursive anymore, right? They teach
That's
you in
true.
school that you should use.
At
Only if
least-
you have checks, like
Right,
myself.
Right.
I got to sign my
Now
name.
we just type everything.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot coming, and it's exciting and has a lot of potential to be a very prominent city on the water, like New York, But we have to wait and see. I lived in Orlando for a very short amount of time. I lived downtown, and it was really cool. I biked everywhere.
But did it still feel downtown? Like, was it really you go outside?
Making my
and
way
you're-
downtown.
Exactly.
Next, like, fucking it did, because I biked everywhere, and when I looked up a lot, you could see the buildings, and I just pretended I was in a different city. I got into a lot of accidents. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this expansion. Khalil, do you know anything? You're the guy. You're the Jax guy.
Jax guy.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of projects. Obviously, the Four Seasons, all the stuff going on by the stadium, that's big. I think once the stadium gets redone, that's big too.
But what just happened? Didn't something some vote?
Oof. Did you see
Yeah,
this?
I saw the vote. I think
Disheartening.
we don't know. It's hard to vote on something when you don't know the terms of it.
Yeah, right.
And so
right.
everything's getting asked as hypotheticals. I think the city will reach some kind of agreement. There,
You know
there
what it
needs to be
is.
something done with the stadium. I mean,
Right.
People
it needs
don't
shade.
want $1 billion to come out of their taxes when they think a billionaire should pay for it.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's sort of every stadium city's
Right.
dilemma.
But I
Right.
also don't think these people don't realize the amount of economic growth that an NFL team brings to a city.
Right, compared to like an MLB team, because didn't like Miami use taxpayer dollars to build that awesome stadium that nobody goes to?
Yeah, I mean it's not the same as an NFL team.
Right.
If you could have another sports team come to Jacksonville in addition to the Jaguars, would you want hockey, basketball, or baseball?
Basketball.
Really?
Yeah,
I think so
basketball.
too.
I think the weather's good enough for it to be baseball.
I'm too big of a Yankees
true.
fan. I would be torn between the team.
Yeah, I mean, you'd still be a Yankees fan, but, you know, you'd enjoy the games outside. I mean,
Hockey
jumbo
would
shrimp
be-
games are fun to go to. You're not
Yeah.
wondering what the triple or double
Those are
A
great.
Yankees teams do.
Those are great. So I'm thinking about the land directly across the street from the jail and the coffee factory. I mean, there's nothing there. I believe they've approved a project that is breaking ground, right?
Yeah, there's been talk of an apartment mixed use, I should say, project going in there. There's been that warehouse project up by the stadium has actually broken ground. I saw cranes
wow.
out there.
Yeah.
What is that? What's the warehouse project?
Have you been to Pont City Market in Atlanta? It's similar to that.
Uh-uh.
It's an old warehouse that's been converted into kind of a mixed use, some retail, some residential space.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
neat. It's by the stadium.
They have that stuff in Boston.
Oh, really?
I think I went to one, yeah, where you go in.
Boston?
Boston, yeah. You go in, and there's like housing above, and then below are like shops.
Can you
donut
drive your
places,
car,
restaurants.
or do you have to park it?
You have to have South Pack.
You have to have South Park.
Yeah. Yeah, that's from an old commercial. Yeah,
The Hyundai commercial.
yeah.
Minneapolis is really good about. I went to college, University of Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul. They take like dilapidated buildings, but they preserve the historic brick foundation, and then they put brand new, whatever inside, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do stuff like that
Yeah,
here?
you've seen it, like Calford
Yeah, yeah.
downtown.
Oh, the bank.
Yeah, I mean that building was nothing. I don't know if you were
Oh.
too new to Jacksonville to see
Yeah, no, I
remember the
never
old thing.
What's
well-
going on that corner? Something Williams that used to be like have plywood up. It was red. Now it's black and gold. Like right when you turn left.
Oh, you're talking about the one right here by the office.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a club. A new
Stop.
club. Yeah, it's
Club.
called the Hardwick, which is named after
The Hardwick, yeah.
Yeah, it's named after the architect that designed the old public library.
It's
which is
already
that green
open?
building. No, it's not open yet. I think it's like a predominantly gay club,
Okay.
Okay.
and so they said that they're supposed to be done sometime this fall. They're supposed to be open soon.
I almost said it was like a gentleman's club.
No.
Thinking I meant to say like a like a what is it, like a country club, but gentleman's club is not the right term to use there. They're not putting that downtown. Probably wouldn't be ideal. Okay, there's also I don't know if you know anything about this, Khalil, but it's right next to the Fair and Fair office.
Okay.
There's a very big lot, and there was supposed to be a beautiful hotel with dining and shopping and people that were happy to work at the hotel on the print, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
Yeah, the Laura Street Trio.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, that I don't know. That project just never got off the ground.
Oh,
I
gosh.
I'm really that's prime real estate right there. That needs
Right.
to happen. Somebody needs to really.
It looked really
develop
cool
that
with like the shops on the bottom level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I mean, like it'll happen eventually.
Yeah,
We need to
'cause they
write a
leveled that
letter to the
building.
mayor.
They
Mr.
did.
Blake Bortles. Is that the mayor?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
He's just the Jack's guy.
Right. So I'm a big city guy. I love going to cities. I mean, Khalil, I see you traveling. You go to New York a lot, or you go for sport. Yeah.
I like travel.
If you could pick one city that you enjoy and kind of say, hey, I would like to model it after that city or one part of that city, what city would you guys choose?
I think it's tough because you have to sort of take the limitations of Jacksonville with the benefits. And
Okay.
so I think I would go with Atlanta because
I've actually never been to Atlanta.
Without the
Really?
traffic.
without the traffic.
Yeah.
But Atlanta sort of faces a lot of the same problems we do, which has it's very car centric. There's a lot of suburbs. But their downtown area, they did this really cool thing called the Beltline, which Jacksonville's sort of emulating with the Urban Trail project, or not the Urban Trail, the Emerald Trail.
Emerald
Emerald
Trail.
Trail.
The Emerald Trail project, where they're trying to make like designated paths that are available for like walking and biking, and you have restaurants and bars and stuff that are along it.
They had
If
that
you
kind of
build
thing
it, they will come. Field of Dreams. We can
Right.
get Kevin Costner.
Right.
Yeah.
They had that kind of thing in Minneapolis, where it was just an entire trail for bikes.
Oh,
Like,
they
you
have.
can
That's
get-
one of the most bike friendly.
Yeah, you can get anywhere on bike.
They have like on the water called St. Anthony, Maine, and they have like a whole section of restaurants and bars. There's like an old theater. Yeah, I mean they've done it really well over there.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool for Jacksonville because we have so many cool neighborhoods that really are
Right.
within biking distance of each other.
Yeah.
Like you talk about, like going from the stadium to Springfield to
Oh,
San
Springfield, they're
Marco,
trying to build that up too.
Riverside,
Yeah.
Murray Hill, like all
Yeah.
those are within a couple miles of each other.
Yeah, and how great would it be if they could do something where it's not just a bike lane? Because, I mean, I'm not going on the bike lane.
No,
No.
because you don't know some crazy driver swerves
Right.
off. the
Right.
road.
I love.
Then you'll have to call Farah Farah.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Right.
I love Avondale and San Marco. To me, I think it's really cool when you're in a neighborhood, and this is not a knock on Florida, but when it doesn't feel like Florida. You see brownstones, you almost think you're in the Northeast.
Yeah.
And you have the tropical weather. I love that area.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like that's, maybe Eddie can put me up in one of those homes so I'm closer to the office. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can run that by him. It's a
You're
good
gonna give up
idea.
your beach house?
I will rent it out to those surfer hooligans that live right down the street.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So the Atlanta, that sounds like a cool idea. Nick, what about you? What city would you bring in?
I enjoy. I mean, I'm from New York, so it would be really cool to see something like that.
What part specifically? Which borough? Staten Island?
That I'm from.
No, that you would bring
Oh,
in.
that I would love to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, Staten Island.
Yeah, of
I mean, you gotta-
course. Yeah.
The highlights.
You need a
Um,
ferry to get in.
I mean, I guess the entirety of what Manhattan or
So you want to put the whole in Manhattan?
yeah. I mean, how cool would that be?
Because
You can go
Be on
so
the water.
right. You can go so many blocks and just there's so much to do.
You know what one of my pet peeves is? You know that Riverside area where like the fresh market is?
Yeah.
They call it Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
We're already trying to move New York.
I hate that.
It's on the water. It's got
But
the
you
same
have
name.
a lasting love for Brooklyn.
I just have
like
a
you're
lasting
from there.
love for the state of
He
New
thinks
York.
it's an imposter.
I know.
It's
You're from
an-
Buffalo. You're not even a New Yorker.
Oh my gosh, you're so
I'm from
right.
North. I'm from South Canada.
Listen,
Marcus.
I'm a fan of the only football team that plays in the state of New York. Okay.
True.
It's true, yeah.
Exactly.
I've been to the Jets game.
Yeah. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. All right. So the entirety of Manhattan you would bring in.
I mean, I guess maybe not the entirety, maybe not every building, but the feel of it.
The authentic
city that never
restaurants like
sleeps.
Sbarro.
Yeah, just like a high density,
Yeah.
high rise type area.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, the Jacksonville's the city that could not sleep.
Do we have a nickname? Jacksonville? Jax is rad, maybe? A little plug here.
The River City.
The city on the
Bold
river.
City. But I
Bold
think
City.
the Bold City is my favorite.
Largest
yeah.
city by
You know the story
landmass?
about the Bold City.
Is there?
Why it's called that.
Oh, I actually
why
don't
is
know
that?
this at all. I
yeah,
wanna hear
no,
this.
it's a good one. Jacksonville sort of pioneered swallowing up the suburbs. And so you think about like how Jacksonville and Duval County have the same borders. Like Jacksonville
Right.
is huge.
Biggest county, Duval is biggest county in the U.S., right?
Yeah, I think it's the only county that's also the entire city.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you think about like Atlanta or like Miami. There's a municipality of Miami, and there's Miami-Dade, which is the county.
Right.
Oh, true.
And they're
Right.
they're different government entities. But Jacksonville they swallowed the whole thing
Look at
up.
us pioneering.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was a bold idea, and then they
It's the boldest.
hung out.
Bold ideas where they got.
That's
They
where
should
they
make a
came up
coffee
with.
shop named after it and a brewery.
I think there is.
Oh, foreshadowing,
Yeah.
maybe. Not today. We'll do that another time.
Right.
All right, so New York, cliche answer. I'm going to go with Buffalo. No, I'm going to shock you guys and shock myself,
Did you
actually.
say Cleveland?
Yes.
Actually.
Are you serious? I was going to say Cleveland.
Just a guess.
No, they
Cleveland,
got a cool
Ohio.
downtown
My
area.
cousin lives in Cleveland. I was there last summer, and what they've done on their waterfront is just outstanding. They have docks where you can bring the boats. They have restaurants. They have bars. They've really done a nice job of bringing in new architecture, but making it feel rustic and old. I would go to Cleveland for on a vacation.
I've never been.
Take
Yeah,
the
me
wife for a second honeymoon and go to Cleveland.
Said nobody.
You know what?
It's a tough sell.
I would love to take
Where
Ashley
am I gonna
Green
go?
from Twilight.
Yeah.
Ashley, if you're watching, let's go to Cleveland.
Where are you going?
We're going to Cleveland.
What's there? The hall of the.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I've never gone. I've always wanted to go.
So
Big
you missed the
Beatles-
one
big
thing to
Beatles
go
guy.
to.
You went to
I went to,
Cleveland. Somehow missed it.
I went to a place I was really excited. It was really good, only to find out it was a chain. Dave's Hot Chicken. Have you ever
That's a
had
chain.
that?
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good,
Yeah.
though.
It was
Yeah.
really good. I had it in Cleveland, though, so I'm going to call it a Cleveland restaurant.
There you go.
So
So
Cleve!
do any of the talks or y'all's dream scenarios involve the monorail here in Jacksonville?
Oh.
Doing anything else?
That would be cool if they actually used that. I love that in
It
Disney
should
World.
be extended.
I can't believe he doesn't go to the stadium.
I know,
That to me
exactly.
is the biggest mistake we've
mess.
made.
It does it go anywhere?
I don't know. I've never. I don't even know where the station.
I
is.
have ridden it.
You have?
Yeah, just
Mr. Jacks over here.
go
Yeah.
around. You never taken it? Like, take it to lunch sometime. Take
Where
it to
am I
San
go-
Marco.
Will it go to
You can go
Brooklyn?
to.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
goes
know.
to San Marco.
Listen,
Does
I
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I will get lost.
No, walk over to Hemming. Well, that's not Hemming Plaza. It's James Walden Plaza now.
Yeah.
Walk over to James Walden, get on it, take it to San Marco.
Is it free?
Get lunch, yeah.
it's free.
Yeah.
Huh.
Does it do the thing like keep your arms and legs in the monorail?
It says
and then says
something.
it in Spanish. Levanta la puerta de- I don't know. I don't know Spanish. That
My
was-
long-standing beach dream is that it would go and they'd make a station at the Kmart in Atlantic Beach.
I wish.
Oh man,
And
that's right
just
near where I
build
live.
it up. There's huge parking there, and you run out to the stadium. Everybody can get there for free, and then when you get back, you're at the AB Town Center.
Right there. That's where I live actually. So that'd be great actually.
So what? The monorail would go down Atlantic Boulevard? Like how do you get?
Yeah, down Atlantic.
It's called Light Rail. Minneapolis has one. Look, I just got to say this before we move on. Cleveland, this is for you. I gotta say that.
Yeah. All right.
So, all right, guys. I'm excited about this future of Jacksonville. I think this sounds cool. People got to get their heads out of their rears and vote for this. If this ever becomes a voting thing, get the stadium upgraded, build a new stadium, bring the business. It's got to happen. All right? We're like the next New York, as what they call it. That's what they call it.
We're on the water.
Except
We're on the water. New York on the water. It's time for Legal Corner, sponsored by none other than Farah and Farah. There's no segue today, guys. There's no segue today because I didn't think of one that was clever. But there is something that's really popular on Netflix right now, and I just watched it, and it's right up my alley. It is the trial that happened. I believe it happened a year ago. The defamation lawsuit between Johnny Depp. I always say Johnny Damon. He's a baseball player. Go Yankees. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Have you guys watched this documentary? Like, do you know anything about this?
I didn't watch the documentary, but I
didn't
watched
watch
a
the-
lot of the trial.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a televised trial. It was crazy. So there's a lot to say. Khalil, as our legal mastermind, can you tell the good folks what defamation is?
Yeah. So defamation is something, it's when you say something false about somebody else and it harms them or harms their reputation.
Okay.
You got to prove some pretty specific things. One, you got to prove a false statement. Okay. Fair enough.
It's probably the toughest one to prove, I would imagine.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. It just proves that whatever they said
Right,
was not
because
true.
the defense to this thing is
It was true.
It was true.
Okay.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
True. There's a phrase. Truth is an absolute defense
Right.
to slander or defamation.
Right.
Okay.
If what you say is true, you cannot get sued for it.
Okay.
Number two is that the publication or the statement was made to somebody else, which easy enough. Three, that you either knew it was false or you acted with specific malice.
Okay.
You know, to harm someone. And then four is damages, and sometimes damages is the hardest part to
That
prove.
sounds like the hardest. Like that you lost money.
So
yeah. What did you lose
Yeah.
typically?
damage is a
Right.
huge part of this case.
Right.
It was really interesting. So the basis of the lawsuit, it was filed in 2019. It was revolved around Amber Heard is Johnny Depp's ex-wife. Okay, in 2018, she published an op-ed, or was published in the Washington Post. An op-ed doesn't mention Johnny Depp by name, but it was by Amber Heard, referring to herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. Okay, in 2016. She was granted a temporary restraining order after showing up to a California court with a bruised face and writing an application for the order that Johnny Depp had thrown a phone at her at close range, okay? Everything within the op-ed obviously alludes to Johnny Depp as being the one who was the abuser, okay? It had affected him greatly financially to the point where obviously his reputation was affected, but he actually was removed from Pirates of the Caribbean 6, which is multi-million, potentially billion-dollar franchise. Or it is a billion-dollar franchise, but for him, millions of dollars. So it became this big case. All right? You guys didn't see the documentary, but I'm sure you kind of followed along.
Well, I mean, I followed along
Right.
with it live. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely entertaining. I mean, that alone.
Right. So something that was fascinating, and I want to ask you a clue about this. The lawsuit was actually filed in a Virginia court. None of them have lived in Virginia. Why would they change venue from California to a Virginia court? What's the advantages of doing that, or why would they do that?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. One, you got to make sure the court has jurisdiction over it. And so jurisdiction in every court is a big thing.
Right, right.
And so you may say, why does a Virginia court have any jurisdiction over 2 California citizens? And it's because the defamation took place in the Washington Post, which you just mentioned.
Yeah.
The Washington Post is a newspaper. It's published in Fairfax County, Virginia.
True.
And so the defamation happened in Virginia.
Where the posting was.
Right, where the posting happened. And so the court had jurisdiction over it. Now, the court had jurisdiction over Miss Heard, Amber Heard, because she was the one that did the posting.
Okay.
So the act happened in Virginia, and so Johnny Depp had the choice, do I want to file this against her in California, or do I want to file it against her in Virginia? And I'm sure their lawyers had a discussion about that, and they probably thought they were going to get a better jury in Virginia than he was going to get in California.
And how about, well, the question I was thinking of was, why didn't Amber try to move it?
As long as the court's got jurisdiction, it's hard to move it. I mean, you can do it under certain circumstances. You can move it to federal court.
Well, what are the processes? Like, how would you go about, let's say Amber Heard said, no, I want this in California. I like my home turf. How would she even go about doing that? What do you have to do? Yeah,
you can only really do it if the court that it was filed against you does not have jurisdiction. So if she was able to say, you know, hey, I've never been in Virginia, or I've never done any acts in Virginia, I have no relationship to Virginia, then she would be able to argue that. But obviously she has some ties to Virginia. She published an act.
Right. So you can't take jurisdiction away if there is sound jurisdiction.
Right. As long as there's jurisdiction, that court has the ability to process that dispute.
Now, I've had it where parties can agree to move jurisdiction.
They can, yeah. And obviously if the people are from different states, they can move it to federal court, as long as it meets a certain amount in controversy.
Now, last question, why would someone want to remove to federal court?
Yeah, the argument is you're not getting a fair shake. So let's say you're a New Yorker snowbird and you come into Jacksonville and you hit me with a car.
I didn't do that.
And I'm suing you for my damages.
Don't.
And I sue you in a Florida state court. You could move it to federal because you could say, listen, this guy, he's a member of the community. He's going to have a jury member of members of the community.
Billboards, people know him.
He's not. I'm not getting a fair shake in front of a jury of his contemporaries. Where I'm, some New Yorker scummy guy that came in for the night.
Okay, easy. My parents are watching this, man. Okay, so that makes sense why they would want to file in Virginia. The other thing that I found fascinating is this trial was televised. Or they allowed cameras in the courtroom. You could watch it. It was streaming live, okay? Yeah. They did not sequester the jury.
So what do you mean by sequester?
Right. So a lot of times, well, I don't know. Khalil, have you ever had a jury like that or an issue like that?
Never had a sequester jury in an auto case, no.
So exactly. So not a lot of times, they can elect to sequester a jury away from the ordinary public, right?
What does that mean?
Sequester is you go to not say remote location, but they'll usually house you in an apartment complex or in a hotel, most commonly a hotel. You don't have access to the outside world. So no phone, no computer, anything that you can access the internet with. You're not allowed to communicate with anything about the case, but it's because they don't want you to have a tainted opinion about a public opinion as to what's going on with the trial, okay? You see it in high profile, a lot of times in criminal cases. You see this with a lot of criminal cases.
That's interesting, but don't they also, isn't there a jury instruction where the jury promises to not even look?
Well, sure, but can you go...
You can't promise that, right?
Can you go through your day without walking by any kind of screen?
Yeah.
And this controlled the media for an extended period of time.
Weeks.
So, Khalil, I don't know, again, I call you the resident legal mind here. Why would they not sequester?
In general, judges really don't like to sequester people.
Why do you think that is?
It's kind of like your rights.
Yeah, because these people are doing a civic duty. They're jury members. They're taking time away from their regular lives.
Right.
And then you're going to tell them, hey, by the way, also, you can't go home to your family.
Right.
You can't have access.
As you walk through the street.
Right, exactly. We're going to... And this wasn't a criminal case. This was a civil case. When you're in a criminal case, someone's freedom, someone's life is at stake. In a civil case, money is at stake.
Yeah.
So judges are usually very reluctant to take big steps, like sequestering, when money's on the table rather than someone's freedom.
Right.
Okay. Well, it was a wild case. A lot of slander. Slander was said. It's libel. What's the difference between libel and slander for those who don't know?
One's spoken and one's printed.
Which one's spoken?
Slander.
You know how you know that? They both begin with S.
Oh.
Smart.
Little law school tidbit.
It's a little tidbit for you. A little tiddly bit.
That's how Mario got through.
If you were, yeah, little tiddly bits. If you were following through, they actually just released the conversation that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had at the end of the trial. Did you see this?
I didn't see it.
They had a conversation?
Yeah, right at the end, like they passed each other. So Amber said, "Hey, Johnny, can you turn around and look at me?" And Johnny just bowed his head and he was like, I don't really want to talk to you.
Do you know why? He's never looked at her.
Right, throughout the whole thing.
No. Since they got divorced, she told her, "I will never look you in the eyes again," and he never looked her in the eyes.
And he meant it.
For 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah.
Right.
It's tough when you're in a courtroom together for weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, the whole time he's like this, looking down. But
Right.
yeah.
And then Amber says, "Let's talk, Johnny. Talk to me." He turns to his lawyer, and the lawyer just shook his head like, "Don't do it. Right? Don't look at her." Then you can actually hear Amber say, "I have something to talk to you about." And Depp, still not looking at her,
Don't tell me this
says,
is a child.
"I have nothing to talk to you about." Right? But he won't look at her, like your
Okay.
point. Then Amber says, "Please look at me."
I got goosebumps.
Right? And then, this is new. And then Depp says, "Goodbye, Amber." And then Herb says, "Tell me something, Johnny. Do you still love me?" And this is all you can hear this in the courtroom. Johnny Depp kept quiet, right? And then Amber Heard again, do you still love me?
Say yes, Johnny.
Johnny Depp lifted his head and actually looked her straight in the eyes. And he said, "This might be the last time we ever speak, so listen to me carefully." Okay?
Oh.
He says, "If you ever need quality legal advice, you should call Farah Farah."
Oh my God, you're the worst, man. I had goosebumps. God, I can't believe he knows about Farah Farah.
Yeah, it was released. It was awesome.
You're a
Yeah,
jerk.
yeah.
You're a jerk.
I did think I heard about that.
You saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
Well,
aren't we getting Johnny Depp to be?
He's in the next commercial.
He's in the next commercial.
Maybe we can get Ashley Greene through Johnny Depp.
Do they know each other?
Gosh, you're the worst.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
the overall, there was a huge influence from social media that played a big role in this case. Okay, the support for Johnny Depp clearly outweighed the support for Amber Heard. Amber Heard, say what you will, wasn't very convincing on the stand. If you guys go watch the documentary, you will
Yeah.
be like, "Wow, this woman is acting."
She was acting.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't good acting. Acting.
Right.
As an actor, I know good acting. Johnny Depp was ultimately awarded $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. And Amber Heard, actually, a small victory. She got $2 million in compensatory damages, no punitive damages. So that has been put to bed. Johnny Depp was reinstated on Pirates of the Caribbean 6, so that's probably going to have a huge killing at
yeah.
the box office.
Yeah.
Go
If
to
we
the
get
thea-
it.
If what?
If we get it because of the strike.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, referencing our old episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I hope it's there. I hope to go to the movies, enjoy it with some popcorn, a drink, and maybe some pizza. Segue
Nice
here.
segue.
It's time for Power Rank Jacks, also presented by Farah Farah. The whole thing is, we're going to talk about the pizza in Jacksonville, guys. Okay, I have a lot to say about the pizza in Jacksonville. All right. As an Italian New Yorker, I take a lot of issue with pizza. Okay,
It's the water. It's the water.
it is the water.
Right.
It is the water.
Sure.
Now, my parents, full-blood Italian, we make pizza at home. We make pizza at home. My dad makes it from scratch. That's the best pizza in town. But there's a couple of spots that I really enjoy in Jacksonville as well. So, Cole, we're going to get to this big board here. You are going to determine who gets the first pick in the 2023 Best Pizza in Jacksonville.
Well, if it's about the water, we're going to go with someone who knows the water, Khalil.
As a beach guy, I got it. All right.
All right. Well, this is a good spot to be in. I like being the first pick.
You bragging?
Advantages.
Advantages for my first pick, favorite pizza. I'm going to go with V Pizza.
Oh, so good.
I love V Pizza.
It is so good.
It is really good.
Listen, I know pizza.
Only oven.
You,
Nothing else to cook with.
I know, which is great.
Yeah.
You know what they did once is, or they may still do this. They did a Christmas holiday money fundraiser thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you've ever been to this, but you buy tickets in advance. It's like Brazilian steakhouse. Like you have the red and green puck, and as
What?
long as it's green, they just keep bringing you
Whoa,
food.
this
Okay.
is
It was
how we gotta do
it was
it.
probably my
must go
favorite.
to this.
It was my favorite night in my life. Was just sitting there housing pizza.
Yeah, well, great idea. And it's variety.
Oh, they bring all kinds.
Oh, man.
They bring the wings too.
Oh, wow.
Listen,
And it's for charity.
It's for charity.
as someone who's from Buffalo, where wings were created, I'm a wing snob.
Sure.
V Pizza is really good, but they're grill wings. They're like wood-fired wings.
they're
delicious.
baked.
Yeah,
they're
they're-
baked.
they're baked,
They're
yeah.
so good with the onions.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
What's your favorite V Pizza location? Do you have a favorite?
I like the one in Palm Valley,
Yeah.
Oh, that one's so cool.
With the
Yeah.
bar connected to it. What's the
the whiskey bar.
yeah, what's it called?
I don't know.
I forget.
but my favorite one is at the beach. As a beach guy,
Mm.
my favorite bar is the bar attached to the one at the beach.
The tiki bar.
Yeah, what is that? I'm blanking on the
Isn't it
name.
Flask and
Flask and Cannon.
Yeah.
Trivia every Tuesdays. I have one. I don't even want to call it a criticism about V Pizza. I love a good slice, like a good slice guy. I feel like V Pizza is like a hearty, like almost like an Italian pizza. Because Italian pizza is different than American pizza.
Like the size, or what do you mean
Like
by?
you can fork and knife it. It's denser. It's not like a slice. Not like a fold up. You know how you eat it like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not New York style.
Yeah, it's not New York style. So that's my only. You're not eating several slices of the V pizza.
Uh-huh.
So that's my only criticism.
I thought the other way.
I think the other way.
I thought it's lighter.
I'll house an entire V pizza.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's not heavy with the cheese.
Can we get?
It's-
Can you order?
yeah.
What's your favorite pie there?
I get the spicy chicken. That's my
Ooh,
favorite one.
that sounds awesome.
You'd like that.
Yeah,
There's no
it's-
cheese.
I have some. There's no cheese on the spicy chicken.
No, there's
If
so-
you ask for no cheese.
I sometimes ask no cheese, and they look at me like I'm insane.
you are.
Yeah. Well, I can't digest it, my guy. What do you want from me?
The attached bar you're looking for is julep.
Julep, that's it.
That's what
Julep.
it is.
Okay.
All right, pick two.
What do you work there?
Pick 2 goes to Nick.
Ooh,
Is that because I made that joke just now?
that is.
I'll never let you win.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go with a little place actually called Napoli's
Sbarro's?
Pastaria.
Oh, pasteria.
Yeah, it's fancy. It's
That's violating the rules, Nick.
why? Because it's a pastaria.
Isn't it in St. Johns County?
It is, but it's on the border.
Are
you
we
can
gonna allow
like
this?
you
Khalil,
can
we
get
gonna let
I
there.
think it counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll give it Jack's honorable mention anyway. But no, like because even if you Google or you can ask your friends where your favorite pizza place is, Google says Napoli's is really high rated. It's just really good. I don't know how to explain it. It's just good pizza.
Solid pizza.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really delicious there. What is your like go-to?
We do my wife and I, we do a custom pizza. We'll get
Ooh.
pepperoni.
Bougie.
Well, I don't think it's any more money, but we get pepperoni, meatball, sometimes sausage with mushrooms.
Oh, so is it, dude, pizza on mushrooms on pizza
Good.
is the best thing ever.
And then we also get the antipasta salad, with the rolled meats and the
With the
olives and the cheeses.
with prosciutto, mortadella.
I don't think they're that fancy.
Okay.
It's
So
more like
with
capicola, ham.
Oh, capicola.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. That's a good pick. Napoli's. I got to check this place out.
It's really
Check
good.
this place out. Okay. I'm really excited for this topic because I love pizza. I'm going to Italy in November, so I'm really excited to have some Italian
Where pizza was invented?
I think pizza was created there. Very good. Very good. Napoli. That's Napoli's.
Yeah.
My favorite pizza in Jack's. Did you guys ever watch Portnoy is it Portnoy the
Yeah.
Spark Tool guy?
Yeah, one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah. He went here. He didn't give it a high rating, but that's because he's a Northeasterner. Biggie's Pizza. I like Biggie's. I
Yeah.
think it's a good slice.
I think it's by the slice, it's better than the whole pie because you get it
I've
twice
heard that.
baked.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
like
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once a pizza's been out of the oven and it like sits and
sits,
rests, and then you reheat it, that's when it gets
And they
good.
use the big pepperoni there, don't they?
Yeah,
Like,
they do.
big,
They
big
have
stuff.
a grandma slice, which is essentially buffalo style pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like the square looking. It is my favorite
like
one
a
there.
Sicilian deep dish type thing.
It's essentially it's not deep dish, but it's almost like focaccia, like the
Yeah,
Italian
yeah,
bread.
yeah, yeah.
Right. And it's delicious. Now, they've opened up a big location on Beach Boulevard. I haven't been to. I used to go to the hole in the wall one and up 3rd Street next to like
yeah, next to
the laundromat there. I think now it's like a daycare or something. Yeah, you probably smell the
Good smelling daycare.
Yeah, you probably smell the pizza.
Well, let me
residue.
throw in an honorable mention for Jacksonville.
Okay.
Since this is Podcastville. I like Al's Pizza. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Oh, is that a Jacksonville thing?
Yeah. I think
Oh.
it's good. They have good deals. They're always a part of the what's that thing the Jaguars give out? The coupon book.
Coupon
Oh
book.
yeah, yeah.
Coupon book.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always have good deals. It's good pizza though. And
Well-
they also have Italian food, but good pizza.
Well, then if you're doing that one, I'm doing another one. Papa John's. It's a Jacksonville.
Well, I think that's a chain.
What is your guys' favorite fast food pizza?
Of like the big just chain
Yeah.
places. Does Mellow count?
No, Mello's
No.
above the rest. I love
I like
Mellow.
Marco's.
Marcos, really?
Yeah.
My sister loves Marcos.
Yeah.
Pizza
Which
Hut.
sister?
Tell
Shout out.
the one that doesn't work at the office.
Right.
The only one.
Right.
The only one.
Wait, I think I'm at Pizza Hut. I think I'm gonna go with
I'm pepper. Not Domino's.
Domino's?
I think
that little
Domino's
Italian
is,
joint, Domino's.
Yeah,
Domino's, yeah.
That's the one.
Do you guys remember Little
like the crust.
Caesars when they first had the $5 hot and ready pizzas when that first became a thing? My buddies and I were like juniors in high school, and I remember that was life changing to us.
Yeah.
$5, we each get our own pizza.
Yeah, it's great.
You went every time. We bought a pizza every time. We never finished. We all had half a pizza left over. We
Right.
should just bought one pizza.
Right.
But former fat kid Nick would have gotten that's
I
your
would have eaten the
dream.
whole thing for
Yeah.
$5.
You pulled a 20 out of your pocket the other day. You could have 4 pizzas.
I know.
God, would you have shared with the family?
Nope.
Yeah. Your son doesn't need to eat.
No. I eat first.
Right.
Right.
And on that note, we are so glad you guys listened and or watched. Remember to subscribe. I mean, we're everywhere you can find awesome podcasts. We're there. Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace, Ask Jeeves. We're everywhere. Subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, click that little bell here. I think it's right here, Cole. Click the bell. That means you get all the content all the time. And we hope you learned a lot about today's episode about downtown expansion. That's going to be great. Don't publish anything against someone that's false because you could get sued. And go grab yourself a solid slice of za. All right? That's what I like to call pizza.
Za.
So until next time, thanks for visiting the Ville. Have a great one. Thank you for listening to Podcastville presented by Farah Farah. We hope you learned a lot, but more importantly, we hope you were entertained along the way. If you or someone you know were injured in an accident, reach out to Farah Farah. And go grab yourself